Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I trust that you're doing great. Today I have something to share with us. It came to mind because I was thinking of how I would be when I'm old and about to die. And I was thinking of the age that I would die at. And it struck me that I don't even know the age I'm going to die. It is in the hands of God. It's interesting that God knows my beginning and my end. God knows everything that I'm going through now. God knows what I'm still going to go through in the future. Before I go on, I want to read the scripture. It's from Psalm 139 because while I was thinking about it, it was the scripture that resonated with me. The psalmist said, "You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain." See, this is where I am now. This part of such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise up on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. But let me stop. It is how mighty um and and so terrifying the extent to which God's wisdom, God's knowledge, God's power spans. When you think about the components of a human being, right? You see that scientists have been able to discover that we are made up of certain organs, and those organs, what make up the organs? Tissues. What make up those tissues? Cells. And you go down to the basic form of human life, which is the cells. And even in the cells, you see that the cell has different organelles, different components inside of it. When you look at that, you'll be like, oh wow, the human mind is amazing for humans to be able to discover this kind of thing. But behind the human mind, you know that there's a creator that created such mind for it to fathom whatever it is that is going on in the world. If you check out science, check out arts, the beauty of humanity, everything that is contained in the earth, and how human intelligence has evolved over time and has discovered and keeps discovering things. It's mind blowing to know that to the human mind, there is almost no limitation. We even found out, we meaning humans, not me, we even found out that there is a spaceship that can take you out of space, out of the earth into space. And then you can see that there is a world, or there are planets outside of the earth. And it's beautiful to see how that the human mind can fathom all of this. It is humbling, almost like, for lack of better word, a humiliation ritual to then see that humans cannot predict, with all of this knowledge, humans cannot predict when they will die. Humans do not know what will happen to them, particularly in 3 years' time or in 5 years' time. You can predict that this is how an economy would go. You can predict that this is how the government will rule, but you cannot predict how your life will go in 4 years' time and in 5 years' time. But there is one who knows. There is a God who knows. There is a God that knows your end from your beginning. There is a God that knows how your life would go, how your life is supposed to go. There is a God who sees all. There is a God who knows all. There is a God that knew that you would be conceived before you were conceived. There is a God that knew that at so age you will do this. At this age you will do this. And so, with all the beauty of humanity and the human mind and brain, if we cannot perceive this, if we cannot conceive this, but there is a God that knows all of this, I think it is humbling for us. And it just gives us an insight that, you see, as humans, no matter how intelligent we are and how smart we are limited. We are limited, and this is why we cannot do it by ourselves. This is why we cannot do it on our own. This is why, at the end of the day, we have no one to fall to except God, because He's the one that knows the beginning and the end. This is why it is never useless for you to put your life in the hands of God. Because if he knows the beginning, he knows the end, then he knows how to direct your life. See, I want to let you know that putting your life in the hands of God is not foolish. It might look foolish to the world because people think that they can project, they can control, they can predict, they can, yeah, predict the future. Maybe. But you can't exactly predict where you will be in 5 years time. You can work towards a goal, but you cannot exactly predict. Something happened this year that drew a lot of attention. NASA went to space and they saw the moon. It was a very beautiful sight, and science and mathematics was able to predict the exact time that the spaceship will land. When it was landing, the exact time down to the seconds when it was going to land, they predicted it, and that spaceship landed exactly. That's to show you the beauty of science, of mathematics, of the human mind, to be able to calculate and estimate that at this exact time this ship is going to land on the earth and in the water. Science was able to predict at the time where the network transmission will go off, and at that exact time it happened. But till today, science cannot predict that, oh, you're going to die at so 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 age. Science cannot predict that in 5 years time this is what is going to happen to your mother or to your father. If science cannot predict all this, it lets you know that even science in itself is limited, but there is a God that knows all things. I think it's a humbling experience. I think it's a humbling experience. And this is why it is not a sad thing to hand your life into the hands of God. Sometimes it might be tough. Sometimes it might be it might not look so appealing. It might not look so enchanting or as beautiful as people might think. But it is a wise thing for you to do, to place your life in the hands of the God who knows the beginning and the end. The Lord knows my beginning, the Lord knows my end. Your life in the hands of God is not a waste. Thank you.